Burt, you traitor! You traitor! But also, Burt, you Attile? Hello, my name is Joe, and I discuss, rant about, create delusional theories about TV shows on this channel and on my Patreon. Follow me, subscribe, join, let's do a bunch of cool shit together, but also, I just want to get to the episode, so let's do it. Listen. When I saw that scene, I thought, for sure, 20 years ago, lumon partner, for sure, Burt is a boss, is on a board, is in the leadership, is responsible for something at lumon. But then, my guys, then I noticed the title of the episode. And what is the title of the episode? Is Attile. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly. It's Attile, whatever, how you pronounce that name. And I don't know who that is. So I went on Google and I went on Wikipedia and I searched. Attile was a ruler of like a bunch of centuries ago who ruled together with his oldest brother until his oldest brother died. And he was a major enemy of who? The freaking Roman Empire. You know, how everyone has been saying that the collapse of the US is like the collapse of the Roman Empire. Why was the episode named Attile the episode with a big reveal about Burt being connected to lumon? So my first theory, because initially I thought Burt is part of the board for sure. But then, guys, this is what I'm sorry that I'm so delusional. I need to calm down. Okay. This is what I'm thinking. What if Burt is an Eagan, even though he doesn't have the name for some reason? Maybe it's because he married his boo and took his name. Whatever. But what if Burt is supposed to be this Attile and his oldest brother is supposed to be Helena's father? Come on! You cannot tell me the version of the outside of Burt is a good person. First of all, he admits clearly he's not a good person. His husband admits he's not a good person. They say that's the whole reason he went to the freaking severed floor. And the way that he looks at Irving, the way that he has that horrible manipulating the mind of a mastermind look, there is no way that outside Burt is not an antagonist. And I think there's a real possibility, and I'm not delusional at all, I think there's a real possibility that he is Helena's uncle. And he went to the severed floor because he understood that being part of the Eagan family was so horrible. He probably committed so many crimes because by this point we know that Eagan equals villains, the villains of the show, and his partner is not evil. His partner is a good guy. Like, his partner is the one that says, you know, I think that the innies deserve to feel love and to feel loved and to have these complex human emotions. So his partner clearly is a good person. So what if his partner was the one who influenced Burt to become severed as a way to have like a version of him be a good person and go to heaven? Because that's what they say they did. And I kind of believe it. Because maybe the partner doesn't know how lumon truly works. Because guys, what else? Oh my god, what else do we get in this scene? Because I was talking about this, like how do they get people at lumon? How do they get them there? How do they get them to the severed floor? How do they entice them to go there? And the partner said it. He said it. It's as if they had heard us. And that's why it's as if they had heard what we said when they went to church and the freaking priest was giving a sermon about the severed employees. I mean, talk about marketing. But they probably listen to them. I mean, our phones listen to us. They probably listen to them when they talk about lumon and about considering the possibility of joining the severed floor. I think that's what happened. Burt is Attile, who is the younger brother of the boss of Eagan, of Helena's father. He does not agree with everything they do, he thinks it's a bad thing. He thinks he has done really bad things in his life and he's going to hell, or at least his husband thinks that. And so because he met this really amazing, incredible person, he tried to atone for his sins by going to the severed floor, by having an Eni who could be a good person and go to hell. This is my theory so far. From now on, this is my theory. Like, it's engraved in my brain, and yeah, this is what I think. That was a ride. Let's go on to the rest of the episode. Wait, before we go on to the rest of the episode, I was forgetting the little details in Burt's house. First of all, that creepy ass painting of the sad clown face with just like the nose and the paint around the mouth, the white paint, and he was like sad. Was that a retirement gift? Because baby boy worked in the paintings department. But what does it mean? Is it like Burt, like outie Burt, is the clown who thinks he can get away from the legacy of the Eagan family? That's what I think. And then all the freaking salt and pepper shakers up in the closet. What was that about? Why do they need so many salt and pepper shakers? I do not have a theory for this one, but I noticed it. And if anyone has a theory of why they have so many salt and pepper shakers, please do let me know. I need to know. And the last thing that bothered me in that dinner was when Burt's husband said to Irving, "What is mine is yours." Was that him being like nasty about their love affair inside Lumon? Or was that him saying like, let's do it? Let me know in the comments what you think. And now moving on to the rest of the episode. Listen, initially I was thinking this episode was going to be the filler because it was feeling very much like a filler, but no, things happened. And now I want to explore everything with Mark and Helena / Helly. A lot happened. All of the possible interactions have happened at this point, apart from Alti, Mark, and Eni Ellie. But well, Mark has that chance encounter with Helena where she clearly stalked him there because he was nosebleeding inside the severed floor. So they probably, I think at the Lumon leadership, they have that kind of attitude. No, reintegration isn't possible, but I think they know. I think they know. So when he was nosebleeding, Helena was probably, and that's definitely why she stalked him there. But also, all of those jokes, like flirting with him, come meet my father and all that stuff, Mark is why is Mark so important? This is what I'm wondering. Why is Mark so important? Not only Mark, by the way, the reintegration lady tells Mark that Gemma is really important to them. Why is she so important to them? Is she going to be like the orientation counselor of this afterlife that apparently everyone thinks that's what's happening at Lumon? Why? But anyway, back to Mark. She clearly stalked him there. To talk to him and see if he was truly reintegrating. No doubt in my mind, Helena, the psycho that she is suspicious about reintegration from Mark. She is. You can't convince me otherwise. In fact, while we were in the severed floor, I was suspicious of the fact that they were once again porking. Because I was thinking, is this Helly? Is this Helly? And at this point, the show is doing a great job because I don't know. I don't know if that's Helly. I think it is because the sex this time was a lot more awkward, more like it was her first time and whatever. So I think it could be her, but she said it. Helena said it in the last episode. I'll just pretend better. So I don't trust it. I do not trust it. So yeah, I think that's what Helena was doing there. I still don't understand why they care so much about Mark. But after that encounter, Mark runs home because he saw something. He remembered something. Her face was way too familiar to be anything good. And Mark runs home. He tells the reintegration lady I'm so sorry. Let's do this. I want to know what the hell is happening to me inside that severed floor. And she does it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, I think she actually takes out the thing so that can be like a full reintegration. And Mark is going through hell, having this whole thing happen in his head, while his sister knocks on his door. Baby sister, I love you. I love you as a character. Bad timing. Very bad timing. But yeah. Mark collapses from everything that is going on in his head, and we see his sister and the reintegration lady around him, and potentially he will wake up in the next episode. Let's be real, he's the main character. Baby boy will wake up. Let's not worry about that. But yeah, he will potentially wake up with all of his memories restored or in the process of being restored. And I cannot wait to see him going into the severed floor trying to pretend he is Innie Mark. And I really need to know if he's going to tell Helly. If that really is Helly and he doesn't tell her, it's going to be icky. I'm buzzing, super excited to see what's going to happen in the next episode when he walks inside work and he finally sees what work is like, and he has to pretend to be Mark, and Helly will notice for sure, because it will be like the culminating of this arc of Mark not noticing it is Helly, but then when Mark is not Mark, Helly is for sure going to notice. I'm so sorry, I'm deranged again. I've calmed down. Okay. So yeah, what happens with Mark and with Helena, and I mean, the tenth scene was the tenth scene. I'm sick of it. Do you know what I noticed though? The fact that poor Helly, and this is like one of the evidence that maybe, I don't know, I feel like it points to her not being Helly, or maybe it points to her being Helly. I don't know, honestly, at this point, I don't know. She takes off her shoes and she puts them tidily in a corner. I don't know, I feel like Helly would have, but maybe it was because she was nervous. I don't know. The show is doing a good job because I honestly don't know if that's Helly or Helena. I think it's Helly, but I am not sure. But my last point about Mark and Helena and Helly, it's a mess, first of all. Second of all, does Helena like him? Because I get that vibe. Does she like him? She doesn't even know him. She's a psychopath. Can she even like someone like that? Let me know what you think. I'm so confused about this Helly thing. And honestly, if that's what the show is trying to do, congratulations. Baby girl, me, I'm confused. Now for milchick. He's gone. He's so gone. I mean, if he truly is like an infiltrated agent, that at this point would make sense to me, because the way this actor is acting, he is acting, because his face during the entire scene where he has to do training to put paper clips on paper, and his face when he was looking in the mirror. And I mean, you have to talk about the symbolism, what this means to the actual corporate culture of the real world, right? Because he's literally looking in the mirror, dumbing himself down to fit this freaky ass corporate world. Literally dumbing himself down. Come on. He is gone. Lumon has lost him completely. I totally believe it could be an infiltrated agent, and amazing freaking actor. God damn it. I was watching it and I was feeling it in my chest, because I too have been part of the corporate world. I felt that in my chest. Love milchick. I'm gonna try to say his name because I have so much respect for that character at this point, honestly. And that little, the kid is doing a fellowship. Do you know what I'm thinking at this point? I'm thinking that maybe the kid is severed and not a permanently severed employee. Maybe she is severed and she's just a genius, because there are kid prodigies who go to like university when they're 14. I mean, she looks 10. Honestly, she looks 10. So I don't think they would, I don't think any parents would allow their kids to go through something like the severance procedure. But I don't know. I don't know. I've seen things. I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. So let's see. But it's interesting that we know that she's doing a fellowship. She clearly wants Milkshake's job. That's obvious. But I mean, if she is not permanently severed, what does she think she's doing? Like, if she really is a child prodigy and they're putting her in like a corporate position, literally dumbing her down. Anyway, what do you think she's doing there? Like, do you think she's permanently severed? Do you think she's just normally severed and she goes up every day to meet her parents at the entrance of the severed floor? Let me know. I need to discuss this with you guys because some things are driving me insane because I can't possibly figure out a logical explanation for this. And then we have Dylan. Baby boy Dylan is making so many mistakes. Like, honestly, they are losing milkshake, but they are gaining Dylan because he put the paper back because he was afraid of consequences, because he's clearly falling in love with his wife, which is another messed up relationship, which apparently now has started as a relationship because she's literally cheating on her husband with her husband. But it isn't her husband because that version of her husband has existed for what, like 3 years? It's a 3-year-old version of her husband. Lady. I didn't like that. That's a very no for me, but clearly Lumon has no morals, so they don't care. And the wife is very clearly bored at home with her outie husband, who is maybe depressed or sad or unmotivated or whatever. And and of course, Dylan doesn't want to risk that because he's feeling affection. Wherever else does he have this? Does he have this kind of connection, this kind of love? Nowhere. Of course, he doesn't want to jeopardize that. So of course, he's going to do whatever is best for his relationship with Lumon. Basically, the team is fractured, which is exactly what they wanted since the finale in season 1. They wanted to divide them, divide and conquer. Welcome to modern day politics. Let's divide the country to conquer the country. And they're succeeding. I mean, Irving is gone. They have Dylan. Helly and Mark's relationship is extremely complicated, and now with the reintegration of Mark, she's either going to notice it or she's going to feel him become a different person, become more distant, and is going to screw it up. Burt is gone, so they don't have that support. Gemma is gone, so they don't have that support. They're fractured. As a team, they are fractured. I don't know if they're going to unite for a crazy finale or what is going to happen, but I feel like they're going to continue to be fractured until the end. There's too many things. There are too many things in between them. And finally, to finalize this, to finalize this review, guys, today my energy is freaking crazy. I want to talk about some loose details. First of all, the frolic guy. I mean, clearly the dinner invitation to Irving was an excuse to have the frolic guy go messing his stuff. Burt must have heard these conversations on the phone. He must know that Irving is up to no good. And he did that dinner in order to get him out of the house so that the frolic guy could go investigate whatever Irving is investigating. And he discovered these papers with the severed employees' information, at least as much information as he has. And I don't know what he's going to do with it, if he's going to leave it there, if it's going to take it with him. For sure, Irving has that information already in his head, potentially somewhere else. He's doing some kind of investigation into Lumon. At this point, there's no way it isn't on purpose. I'm thinking that maybe he joined the Lumon severed floor to investigate it. Whether or not he's reintegrated, which I don't think he is. At this point, I don't think he is reintegrated. He's doing an investigation about the Lumon floor. And honestly, because I read the letter that the showrunners released together with season 1, I think, where a severed employees where a past severed employee sends a letter to a journalist. I think Irving could be like the follow-up to this letter, because why would they give us the letter just to inform us? No, it has to be important for the plot. I always think it's important for the plot. I think Irving is some type of journalist trying to write a story on Lumon and figuring out what the hell happens at the freaking severed floor. I think he keeps, because I mean, he's a painter, right? He's an artist, so wouldn't it make sense that he's connected to some form of journal or newspaper or whatever? I think he's an investigative journalist, or at least like someone who is infiltrated the Lumon severed floor and is working with journalists to uncover this story. I think that's what it is. And when he's talking to someone, it probably is like his editor or something. So that's what I think it is. He's probably a journalist, and he's trying to uncover the hidden secrets of the severed floor and of the exports hall, which he keeps painting. But yeah, the frolic guy found the information potentially. I really hope Irving's life is not threatened. I really hope we don't lose Irving for good. Like, it's gonna be a piece of my heart that is going to be ripped out of my chest if they off Irving. And then just two more notes. One, we once again get another detail into how much control they have in the severed floor, because we learned that the humidity is always set at 45%. And that's a nice little detail right there. And this time when I was watching the intro, I noticed something else, because I noticed that the Irving mug appears in the intro, which we saw last episode, I think. And we also see a goat, like a full-grown goat dressed in a suit. What the hell is that? And we see Mark landing on a green field full of other goats. What the hell is that? So that's what I wanted to mention. Tell me your theories in the comments. Let's talk about it. This was, I mean, initially it looked like a filler episode. Was not a filler episode. We found out a lot. And yeah, that's the end of my delusional rant. Alright guys, see you probably tomorrow with Yellow Jackets. I have a crazy theory for that one. Just you wait. Bye bye.